those who truly have Keith's best interest at heart. And I don't mean in a perspective of who we like and who we don't like, because I've had a revelation. And whenever God shows me myself, I want to do what God asked me to do. And so I've asked Tommy, after a long night of praying, a long night of struggling, a long night of listening to the Lord speak to me. One thing about me, I am a God-fearing woman. God is my every purpose for being here. And a lot of people want to judge me differently, and that's okay, because I don't stand by man's judgment. I stand by God's judgment. Amen. And so what I want to say is that the last couple of days has been kind of tough, because on every occasion, some people come, some people go. Some people are here, some people are not. A lot of y'all know it started out, me and Shay was working together. Then things happened, Shay was gone. So then I had other people coming in. So it's they coming and going, and they come. And God is a God that is constant. He's not a God that comes in and goes out. So I've had to look at this situation. The one thing hurt me most is, many of you know that my brother has been very instrumental, and I felt trying to bring peace to the situation. And because of my childhood, our childhood, my family is very dysfunctional, as most of you can tell. But one thing I did is I tried to raise my boys where they knew that the ties was the three of us, me, Keith, and Delano. Mm-hmm. Life has thrown us some real bad curveballs, and I'm like the black sheep of my family. I don't really deal with my family on no level, because we're so dysfunctional. We're very dysfunctional. And what God showed me was, I've been so focused on these baby mamas and their issues with my son, based on truth that I have seen, that I'm doing the same thing to my grandkids that happens with my family, my siblings. We tit-tat against one another. They're all separated. They don't spend time together. They don't even really know each other. And I'm allowing the enemy, the baby mamas, to have control over something Keith always kept close to him. Keith always had all his kids. He always had all his kids. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm being honest, and I'm saying this for y'all support. If you really on Keith's side, I need y'all support. The last incident where I felt Don Shay was putting these images up about her and this big announcement for Valentine's Day. And then some of y'all know about this supposed to be an image of Keith in a tux with some roses. And because of my past with Shay, I'm thinking, here we go again, some more trickery stuff. Now, I'm going to make it known to everybody. I don't know factually whether she was trying to be slick or not, but based on my history with her, Shay is sneaky. She do all types of undermining things to make things appear to be what they're not. That's her go-to. And so as long as I ain't saying nothing, she'll keep creeping little stuff in. Now, I'm going to make it known. I don't care for how Shay has done my son. And it has nothing to do with his care. It's just overall, she ain't never really checked in with him. It's always been about the lifestyle he provided for her. And I know this. A lot of y'all don't know me and Shay's relationship, but I've been knowing Shay as long as she's been with Keith. I've been knowing Shay as long as when she first met me in California. And I loved her. Me and Shay has never been as disconnected as we are now. And it's for a reason. But I'm not using this platform to talk about Shay. I'm using this platform to share with you all that since she sent me this message telling me she done with him, I'm washing my hands of him, I'm putting me first. Now her and Danielle talking about we gonna be in our peace. If you notice, they all singing the same song. But who's suffering? Keith's children is suffering. Well, I'm looking at what Shay's saying, what Delano's saying, what Danielle's saying. The children are suffering. His children, the ones who he always kept together, is his kids. And so I owe my grandkids an apology. Because even though I don't like their behavior, the Lord has shown me you are no better than how your siblings are.
Amen.
You are no better. We have to learn to look beyond the thoughts of these kids and what they're doing and understand where that spirit comes from. And when we engage in that spirit, we get just what we've been getting now. A whole bunch of chaos.
I agree.
A whole bunch of backbiting. A whole bunch of mess that is irrelevant, that does Keith no good.
Right.
I want y'all to know this. Anytime I tell you something, I'm telling you when it happens. Since this fallout with Shay, just yesterday, Keith was talking to his son, Kalino. He was telling him, I love you, man. I love you. Keith said, you need a hug? Yeah. Kalino leaned in, he put his arms around him and hugged him. Guess who he been asking for? Gabby and Genesis. You know what he told me? He told me, only thing matter is my kids. I want to take them to Cedar Point. And I'm telling you, that convicted me. That convicted me because I don't deal with Gabby and Genesis because of how bad they've been, their behavior have been off. I've been looking at their behavior versus their hurt. One thing I know for certain, and I have shared this with y'all, the only one really showed a true compassion for Keith was Gabrielle. When Gabrielle seen him, she just cried.
Yeah.
She just cried. And I feel horrible as a grandmother to have all this time. I paid no attention to them, but their behaviors, not understanding that they're hurting too.
Right.
They know what their dad do for them. And if all their dad ever did was give them money, and he showed them love that way, they knew that he loved them. That was his way. That way. That was his way. And so I have to publicly use the same platform to say, I'm sorry to my grandchildren. I can't reach out to them and call them one by one because I don't deal with nobody.
Yeah.
They all know I don't deal with, my family know I don't deal with none of them.
Right.
I stay to myself because I don't live that kind of life. My son knows I don't deal with the family. I never had them around my siblings because we're so dysfunctional.
Right.
We do more for outsiders than we do for us who are blood family. Since Christmas, me trying to engage with my family and let them know y'all welcome, y'all can see Keith, ain't one soul came and knocked on my door to see Keith. Not one. And then here I am, his children who he loved, don't even have access to him. So I am admitting that I have been focused on the wrong things. Yeah. I can't do nothing about Shay. I can't do nothing about Danielle. I can't even do nothing about them telling their kids they can't come around, which Danielle made very clear. It ain't the kids that don't want to come. It's the parents that ain't letting them come because they don't like me. My grandkids don't have a problem coming around me. When Danielle popped up out of the blue, she brought KJ. KJ was all over me. I raised KJ practically. I have a relationship with I just don't now because of the parents. But I'm going to leave it to them now. I'm going to leave it to them to do what they want with their kids. But I promised Keith, I said, son, if you want to see Gabrielle and Genesis, I'm going to make it known. If he want Gabrielle and Genesis here, Gabrielle and Genesis is the two that's going through the works. Because I hear they all over the place. They hear, I want Gabrielle and Genesis to know that if they can find forgiveness, forgiveness is given on my end, and that their dad is asking for them. He's asking for Gabrielle and Genesis and any of his other kids that Keith want to see. They're welcome to come to their grandma's house and see their dad whenever they want to. Keith is concerned about Gabrielle and Genesis. He said that yesterday. Where's Gabby and Genesis? I told him, they tell me they stay with Leno. He said, Ma, Tommy, I broke. You understand?
Yeah.
Because he didn't say, go get him. He just said, Ma. He know I know better.
Yeah.
He knows it. And so I don't care about what Pam trying to do with Delano. Shame on her. I don't care about what Shay trying to do, because as far as I'm concerned, she been checked out. She was checked out, and she was all about her when she was stealing, and I'm going to say stealing his money out of the bank, because she didn't have a reason to do that. My brother want to check me on everything I do, but he don't want to check her on the things she doing because she been with him 18 years. Well, Keith's kids been with him all his life. All their life. His kids has been his. And so my focus is on Keith's children. My focus is on providing for Keith, and better late than never. That's how I truly feel. And from this day forth, it is my goal to make sure that his children are raised together and that they have a functioning relationship amongst one another, which is something I couldn't give my own kids.
Love over right and wrong. That's how I try to do it with my adult daughter and my kids. Love over right or wrong. I love her more than I want to be right. So
exactly.
I get you.
And how do children learn if we don't teach them?
Right.
Is it embarrassing, the things that I see my granddaughters doing? Of course it is. Of course. But what is it about? Is it about you being embarrassed temporarily?
Right.
Or you trying to teach them to be better adults?
Absolutely.
Some things we just got to deal with.
Right.
Some things we just got. And you can't, honestly, I can't fault my granddaughters. I cannot fault them. They have been put in a situation that they have no control over.
Right.
None.
Right.
They have no control over the situation. And for me to be a God-fearing woman and say it's okay that they're doing that, or say I don't want nothing to do with them because they're acting out like they do. It's all about they need somebody to understand where they're at and help guide them to where they need to be.
Amen.
And that's what my purpose is. I ain't giving no more attention to these baby mamas.
There you go.
I don't care what they do.
Right.
I don't care what they say. I don't care nothing about it. If everybody want to engage and run around and make sure Miss Shay is okay, y'all go on and take care of Shay. She got enough people taking care of her. Y'all go and take care of her. I'm going to take care of my grandkids. If they allow it, know that from this day forward, just like I told Keith, it ain't been pretty. I've done some things I'm not proud of. I ain't done nothing to them. I've just avoided them. I don't want to be around them. But I have to help. That's what Keith needs. He needs his children around. He needs his children. He needs to be able to see them and know that they are there for him. And one thing I know for sure, his kids love him.
Yeah.
They might like the things he do for him and all, but his children do love him. It's a whole different love when it's kids versus a girlfriend versus a mom. It's a whole different kind of love. And I would not allow myself to take away what he was trying to build with his kids. Because one thing Keith did with his kids was kept them together.
Yeah.
And when him and Shay, before his accident, when him and Shay was together, they had fell out. Shay hadn't even talked to him. The day of his accident, they were supposed to talk. You know why they had fallen out? Because her and Danielle had planned a family vacation and left Gabrielle and Genesis out. And Keith was mad about it. So how do you think he feel about what I'm doing? I'm not helping his kids.
Can we clear up one thing, Miss Regina? And I think it's important, and it is about the kids. I heard about the children when I went to Toledo, when I came to Toledo and visited Keith. But I didn't hear about it with you because I never met you face to face. I did hear about them through Shay. The for some reason there's a rumor that, or there was a rumor out that you put the kids out. And I don't think that's true because that's not what I heard from Shay.
No, that's I want to clear it up. The whole situation with the kids is they were, when Keith had the accident, Keith had took custody of his kids because the mom was struggling with the girl's behavior. Okay. And so I had talked to, at the time, Aaliyah had came down, and I had talked to their mother. I said, listen, I said, I want you to, what you going to do about the girls? I said, because Keith's situation, it don't look like he ain't going to be able to take care of them, and they can't be over there in that house by themselves. And so me and the mom was on the same page. She had came up, we had talked and everything. She told me she was going to get the girls and that she was going to make sure that they was at her house. She was going to get them. And make a long story short, she never came through on what she said. What she decided to do was let Aaliyah keep the girls because Aaliyah was here and Aaliyah's 20 or 21. I don't know how old she is, but she was going to let them stay over there with Aaliyah. Well, the mother never told me that's what her plan was. The next thing I heard is that her grandparents and all of them was taking food and stuff over kids. So they had all kind of washed their hands of the kids, if you ask me, because Gabby and Genesis is a handful. They, doing a lot of stuff. And, Keith had found out things that they were doing. And they, being typical teenagers, basically. But they not teenagers. They young girls. But they had no structure once the mom got involved with them. The grandmother raised them girls, and they were good girls. Go to church, praise dancers. They were really good girls. It's surprising that they turn out like they is, but their behavior got out of control once the mother got them, as far as I could see. And she just couldn't handle them. She just couldn't handle them girls. So that's why she reached out to Keith, which is what any of us would do, go to the dad.
Absolutely.
So make a long story short, when the girls was over there partying, drinking, doing all kinds of stuff that they know would not be acceptable by Keith, I got involved. Aaliyah was telling me she didn't want them there. In fact, Aaliyah got into it with the mom. The mom called the police on Aaliyah. The police still left the girls there with Keith. Now, all of these people in our family who know, on the mother's side, the mother, the girl's mother who didn't raise her, they all knew these girls was in Keith's house, unsupervised, smoking, drinking, partying. They even went out to where Aaliyah lived. And they was doing all these things. Now, me being the grandma that I am, the old-fashioned, ain't on all that bull crap, of course I was upset because I know Keith wouldn't want that for his girls. He wouldn't want them in there. Now, if they had went in there, Tommy, and was doing the right thing, they wouldn't even clean up the house. If you remember, they stole Keith's car. And then Danny, Shay, and Crystal all went over there. Now, Shay scared of the girls, evidently, because that's why she went and got Crystal and Danielle to go with her over there when they stole the car. They thought I was in the car. I was nowhere around when they went over there, and they called themselves going to go over there, and they trying to say Crystal and them was going over there to beat them up when Crystal and Danielle was the one talking most of the shit about what she was going to do, this and that. But They all went over there just as backup for Shay, trying to help Shay because Shay was scared of them. So with all of that going on at Keith's house, me being the type of grandma I am, I felt it was best that they go with their mother. Mm-hmm. So what I did is I went downtown. I went to juvenile court. I was even going to bring the girls with me. Mm-hmm. At that time, I was going to take them. They didn't want to come with me because, see, I'm strict. I don't play them games. They can't do what they do with me, what they do with their mom. So they didn't want to come with me. I was going to take them and bring them with me. But I'm now dealing with Keith, and it was the accident. Mm-hmm. So it all got out of control. Then Aaliyah was talking about, she was thinking me and Shay was going against her, and she thought I was in the car the night they went over there, and she said I called, and I did call the police on them because I'm the type, I don't want to put my hands on them because I'll go to jail. Mm-hmm. And I didn't need to go to jail while I'm taking care of Keith. Right. And that's why I left everything to Shay. Shay, you handle his social media, you handle his finances. Just let me know what you're doing. You know, I set it up right from the beginning. I did everything. All I wanted to do was take care of my son. I never asked Shay for no money. I never asked Shay for no cash app. I never asked Shay nothing. Only thing I ever told Shay about money is when it's time for him to go to rehab, I want you to tell me what's going on because he gonna need money. We gonna need money to take him up there. Now, I done got fired from my job. Mm-hmm. For my son. They fired me because I kept leaving work to go about my son. Right. Okay? So the truth of the matter is the girls were out of control totally at their dad's house. I did go over there after several attempts to get them up under good supervision. Mm-hmm. The mother would not respond. The grandmothers didn't want them back at their house because they was driving her crazy, the lady that raised them. She didn't want them back there. They even had an auntie that's a devout Christian who was working with me to help them. I was sending Vonda money. When Keith get money on his cash app, I would give it to Vonda. Mm-hmm. Take the girls and get them what they need. It just got out of control because I blame myself for focusing on the kids' behavior and taking it personal versus focusing on their need. And they were probably lost and hurting. So these girls have been through a lot since their dad's accident. And to my knowledge, they still going through. To my knowledge, they're still not complying with their mom. Mom don't have no control over them. The family ain't taking them in because they done burnt their bridges there. And I don't know if it's true. The last I heard that Delano had them. So I don't know. But I know this. Keith would not want that for his children. Mm-hmm. And whereas I can say, well, where is Shay? What is Shay doing? Them ain't Shay's kids. And Shay doing just what she do, look out for her. That's all she do. Right. Shay has always been about her and her only. That's how she has always been. And so not to bash her at all. I'm only speaking truth. And I'm saying this truthfully. When Keith asked for Gabby and Genesis and said only thing mattered to him is his kids, I told him I'm gonna get it right.
That's right.
It is my responsibility to do right. I don't care what man say about me. At this point, I feel like God has moved everyone who he didn't want in my presence out because he know the heart of man. Mm-hmm. I feel that God has done that for a reason. It ain't no reason for Shay, if she's innocent, to say, I'm done with her. She too difficult to get along with. The only reason she say that is because she know how dysfunctional our family is. She know they gonna go for it. She know it. Shay know our family. She know what she doing. This girl is a master manipulator. She know how to get people on her side. And that's all she about. Shay is about herself. If she cared anything about Keith's kids, if the last argument you and your man had was you trying to go somewhere on a vacation and leave his kids, why wouldn't you be taking care of his kids if you know their mom is dealing with some issues?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? I'm still taking care of, I still help Kalino's mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? She always had Keith's kids. The girls, when he was healthy, she always had Gabby and Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
And it was never an issue with the kids' mom that they were with Shay. Never. Why ain't you got his kids now?
Because you can't do it all by yourself. I mean, it's...
No.
Yeah.
And that's why God is showing me, get his kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
His kids' presence will make him better, will let him know, give him a reason to come alive. Right. You messing up. You getting caught up in this mess with these mamas that you don't need to be caught up in. Right. They want to talk. Look, any money I get, if I got his kids, God, let his kids handle with it. They don't need to be posting no cash apps for people to feel sorry for them or give to them because ain't nobody else. If you had his kids, you could use his cash app for his kids. Mm-hmm. You can provide for. Let their mama deal with her sin, and you deal with making sure these girls live a holy and righteous life.
Right.
That's what you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And believe me, God whooped my butt all night. Mm-hmm. Because the guy who was here taking care of Keith found out he had AIDS. His live-in caregiver found out about him. I tell him to go, my brother, why you make him leave? I ain't gonna have no nigga up in here.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Why would I keep somebody around me like that? You know, everybody, why you ain't reaching out to your sister? I ain't talked to my sister since my mother died. 7 years my mother been gone. Why would I talk to my sister now? The door is open. I've done nothing to my sister, but God showed me how messed up we are as a unit. Me and my siblings have no kind of family value. None.
The caregiver.
We don't look out. My brother,
the caregivers,
called Shay. I didn't talk to my brother. And he called Shay, gave his condolence to Shay, and never called his sister. And not one time have I ever told my brother, if you knock on my door, you ain't coming in. If any of my family came and knocked on my door, I don't care what my relationship is with them, to see my son, to support my son, that door would be open. They ain't got to talk to me. We ain't even got to talk about our situation. But at least show yourself righteous. But everybody want to blame Regina. Oh, she ain't letting nobody come and see him. Oh, she this. Oh, she that. Oh, she that. No. I'm carrying my own cross.
That's right.
And I'm not dealing with these baby mamas no more.
Yeah.
None of them. I don't deal with them. Those who want to be around is around, and that's Crystal and Tanisha. They're the only ones that check on Keith, that ask about Keith, that spend time. And it ain't because I let them in my house. Mm-hmm. It ain't because I like them. They do it because they respect him. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And all of the kids he has done the most for, the ones he done the most for, this is what they moms do. And then they want to say it's their grandma's fault. You ask my grandchildren. The only one, KJ, LeBron called, asked me for stuff. I give it to him. The only thing I've told LeBron, you need to come see your dad. Come spend some time with your dad. Mm-hmm. When he asked me yesterday about Gabby and Genesis, it broke me. Mm-hmm. It broke me. He knows what's going on. Yeah. He probably can't verbalize it like he would normally, but Keith knows. He talked about Cedar Point. Mm-hmm. Us going to Cedar Point. I'm going to take y'all to Cedar Point. And how we going, Dad? I'm going to take you in my car. What color is your car, Dad? Black. See, it's a lot of people wish him not to come through.
Right.
Because they know they got to answer to what they did. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you, and I'm telling everybody that's listening, Keith is going to come through.
Oh, I
Because
believe.
whatever I have to sacrifice for it to happen for him, I will. It ain't about me.
Mhm.
And no matter what family say, no matter what these baby mamas say, it ain't about me. I will sacrifice me just like God sacrificed himself
Yeah.
for the righteousness.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been wrong about how I have ignored the call for help from my grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
But what I won't do is I won't tear down what Keith has already built up in his children.
Right.
I will not be a part of that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I will not be a part of that anymore. Period. If they want to gather and be around all that nonsense, y'all go head on.
But your door is open for your grandchildren.
My door is open for and I want you, Tommy, to continually let it be known.
Absolutely.
Because I don't talk to Gabrielle and Genesis at all. In fact, the last time one of them called me, I don't know which one it was, I blocked the number because I'm so fed up with the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I get fed up with it. And even in spite of all of that, whichever one it was, I think it was Gabrielle. In spite of everything happening, that girl still reached out to me, to her dad,
Mm-hmm.
and I blocked her.
Are you able to go in and unblock those numbers?
I don't remember. I'm going to look on there and see, but I don't remember who or what number it was. But
and if Gabby, if Gabby and Genesis could hear you right now, because I believe they'll hear this, and I hope they receive it with an open heart. If they could hear right now, what would you tell them? What message would you want to send to them?
The first thing I would say to them is that I'm going to apologize, mm-hmm. because I have not been the grandmother that God has created me to become, because I've been looking within myself, and that I forgive them for any of their unrighteousness that they have done up to this point. And I will continue to forgive them because, again, it's a step-by-step process. Every day is not going to be a good day. Mm-hmm. And I can't promise that I won't mess up again, because, that's why Christ died for us. It's because of our sins. But I will promise them this, that I will stop looking inward at myself and measuring who they should be. Right. In who they are, because that's my biggest mistake. I'm looking inward at better when I should be teaching them better, and I should be a better example to them. And I want them to know that if they are out there, don't want to go home, if they're in a situation where they don't feel like that my home is open to them, and that they have to understand too that it's not their responsibility to teach us how to be adults. It's our responsibility to be adults and know that we have to be light in their world of darkness. So much have our teens today, music and fashion and all of this stuff that I'm totally against. I remember telling them, don't come over here with no hair down past your knees and no mini dresses and your titties hanging all out, because you ain't coming in my house. Well, I got to find a better way to express to them. And when I can show them versus always telling them, because people always telling them what to do, but ain't nobody doing nothing to help them. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Everybody want to be in their life and tell them, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Listen, your father is asking for you. Mm-hmm. Your father wants to see you. And your grandma will answer any call your father wants. But more than that, I want y'all to know that you have a place in your grandma's house. And if you want to come here, you're more than welcome to come here. And if you're willing to give grandma a fresh start, grandma's willing to take it. But that's your decision. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel like you got to do it because I'm asking you to do it. When God give you that moment, take it. Because remember this, y'all. Tomorrow is not promised. I see people dying every day. Right. Every day you see people dying. That's right. Most would have thought Keith would have been gone before Green Eyes Man. But look at all these people that's dropping like flies. thinking that they had tomorrow because they was healthy today. That's the reason why I'm saying this. I had Keith gave the asked yesterday about his kids. I fought all day yesterday, all through the night. When I woke up this morning, I said, I'm going to do God's will.
Yes, right.
If it's humiliating to me, I don't care about man.
It shouldn't. It ain't.
I don't. I do not care about what man think about Regina Davis. Right. I don't care. Oh, I told you she was wrong. I told you this. Do you think I care? My allegiance is to God.
That's right.
My apology is to my granddaughters. I have not been what I should be. I haven't even been walking the walk that God has given me to walk.
Talk your stuff, Miss Regina.
But I'm on that platform now. And I'm here to say, as I've always said, the only reason I use this platform is for truth to be told. Okay? I ain't gonna put Keith on Broadway for y'all to see and know because of all the lies that's coming. Y'all gonna have to believe what y'all want to believe. I don't care. At the end of the day, I'm moving to how God moves on me. I'm gonna move as He reveals who I am. I'm gonna reveal who I am to you all so you can know. This ain't about, oh, she just hates Shay. Oh, she just that. Shay deserved the stripes that she's gotten from me. Do I forgive her? Of course I do. I forgive Shay. But some people you got to deal with from a distance. Some people, when they continually violate your trust, you got to keep them out of your space, your private space. And that's all I've done. She cannot come in my space. Now, what she chooses to do with her man, that's on her. Because I never told her she can't get him. Okay? I ain't never told her. She threw in the towel.
Yeah.
I'm sick of this. I ain't doing this. You been checked out, baby. You been checked out. My family is fighting for you harder for you than you fighting for yourself. Because she been checked out. She ain't never been as boisterous as she is now. She listening to Danny. The only reason Danielle is in her face is because Danielle want what she got. Danielle, Keith pays her way. Danielle can walk up to Keith like he an ATM and get it right in the face of Shay. And she don't say a word. So it's a reason why ain't nobody gonna come between them. It's a reason why. And Crystal can tell you, right in the midst of, before in the room, Danielle talked about Shay like a dog. Oh, she trying to be like me. Yeah, all of a sudden, all my kids, I got bracelets and we did this. And now her kids, I ain't on that mess with them petty baby mamas. Yeah. Y'all do each other. I ain't trying to come between y'all friendship. I'm just keeping it real.
Right.
I'm just keeping it real. Y'all want to make it all about, oh, she trying to do this. It ain't got nothing to do with that. I ain't got no reason to hate Danielle, and she know it. Because if I did, you wouldn't have been around my house.
Right.
When I figured out that her and Shay was on some bullshit, that's when I told Shay, look, I don't ask you to do stuff and you assign it to Danielle. This is your man. If you can't go get a copy of a lease and bring it to me, just tell me and I'll do it. But you got more allegiance to her than you do your own man. And that's where me and Danielle and Shay broke. Well, she had Danielle over her house. I don't understand why she would have her. So I got to be fake because I'm telling you to take responsibility for your man versus handing it off to somebody else. I'm telling y'all don't know the Shay that I know. And that's why I'm saying I got to get rid of her. I got to be done with her. I got to get her out of because it ain't about her. It's about my grandkids.
Your grandkids.
And that's what my focus is going to be. Keeping Keith's relationship.
And all of his children are welcome. All of his children, including Shay's, Danny's, everybody's. Just so everybody's.
Because you know what? And on God, I ain't got nothing. I've never said nothing bad to my grandkids to be spiteful. I've always been honest with them. I've always been honest with them. But I'm going to say this. if they allow their children to come and see their dad, there will be no conversations about their mothers in my house.
That's good. Yeah.
There will be no conversations about it's about them coming together, spending time with their father,
like they used
enjoying
to.
their dad, like he used to have it. Like he used to have it. He used to sit up, watch movies with his kids. He used to do things with them. I want them to be able to still have that with their father, you know, because those are the ones that's going to be instrumental in him meeting the goals that he needs to meet. It ain't about my brothers. It ain't about his uncles. It ain't about his aunts. It ain't about none of them. It ain't even about his nephews, because he didn't have that type of relationship. He didn't have that relationship with his brother. So why all of a sudden do I need to be trying to establish that now? Now his brother have a great opportunity to amend things with his brother, but he chose to do what he doing, bashing his mother, trying to act like you had such a terrible upbringing, trying to act like your mom would do something to her when you know all I've ever done was rescue you and your brother. Well, him more than Keith, because Keith ain't never really needed me for nothing, but Delano, you know.
Yeah.
So we need to get it right. And all of y'all that's supporting Keith, I'm asking you to be prayerful about us trying to bring his children back around him. That's what we need to do. And I will continue to update. When his children come around, you will see the acts of compassion, the acts of love, the acts of long suffering, the acts of joy. You will see these things manifest when his children come around, because they want to make it all about a profit. And the only thing that these children will profit in coming together is a healthy father and a strong relationship. And what I don't want to do is tear down what he was trying to build with his kids that my mother couldn't build with her own children. This is called a generational curse. It's called and it's amongst a lot of us Black families.
You're not alone.
All of us, we got people in our family we can't stand. And I'm asking every last one of y'all, that's listening, look within yourself at your own families and try to bring them together.
That's right.
Because at the end of the day, it's only one heaven and one hell. And we got to decide our personal destinations. We got to decide where we going, heaven or hell. Who's going to keep us from seeing the glory of God? Because it's coming. We are in the last days where families will pit against families, where brothers and sisters will be killing brothers and sisters. And it don't have to be with guns. It can be with words, which is what we have been doing. It's what I have been doing to my own grandchildren. And it's that deep, people. Sin is ugly. It is ugly. And when the righteous can't be righteous, how will the world be saved? How? If we don't look within our own hearts, how will we save a dying world? How do we make our grandchildren's futures bright if we can't even see through the darkness?
Gotta say it.
For our own self-pity. Now I'm coming down on me.
Come on. That's where it starts. That's how the cleanup
I'm coming
starts.
down on me.
Amen.
So, and like I said, say whatever you want to say, do whatever you want to do. At the end of the day, as long as my grandchildren, Keith's children, that's Gabrielle, that's Genesis, LeBron, KJ, Caden, Kalino, Aaliyah. Just because Aaliyah grown don't count her out.
Right.
You still Keith's child.
That's right.
My son is 42. That's still my baby.
That's right.
My son is 44, 45. That's still my son. As bad as it is, he is still my son.
That's right.
He is still my son. And what I won't have is the work Keith has put in his kids' life diminished.
That's right.
That stops today.
Yeah.
That stops today. So the invitation is open. My prayer is that we can move forward. And for Keith's sake, don't nobody have to look at this and say, "Oh, well, I ain't doing it for I don't like Granny." So I don't count your dad out because of your granny.
Right.
Granny ain't Jesus. I ain't perfect. I'm a mess up. I'm gonna do some stupid stuff just like y'all will. But at the end of the day, if we can forgive each other and if we can see our purpose, then we can do better. And so I believe that the position I'm in right now, where I honestly don't have nobody. I think God put it this way so that I can see the most important thing in your son's life is his children.
And nobody else.
He said it himself. He said it.
Yeah.
He said, I want to see where Gabby and Genesis. I said, you checking Gabby? Why you want Gabby and Genesis? I said, they fine. He said, where they at, Ma? I think they went to Leno. Do you know how bad I feel that I couldn't tell him where his kids was at?
Exactly.
That was the cut that made me see. I couldn't even tell him where they at. But he knew they was with him. He knew he was responsible for
them. Yeah.
I'm looking at how messed up the mama is and what she doing, and she done left them over there, and I'm just as bad as the mama because I'm leaving them out there. I mean, they was with Aaliyah, and I know Aaliyah wasn't good for them.
Do not kick low.
And but what I did do when Aaliyah left. When Aaliyah told me she was tired of them and she didn't want them there no more, and she didn't want the responsibility because of what T was doing and all of this and that, and T called the police on her a couple of times and this and that, then I said I wasn't going to let them girls be over there in that house by themselves.
That's right.
Y'all not going to be over here raising yourself. That ain't going to happen.
That's right.
Now, if they say I put them out because of that, I did.
Okay. And any responsible adult would have. That's
any
unsafe.
responsible. Yeah. Keith would not have it. Keith would not. Keith wouldn't really want them up under the leadership of Aaliyah, knowing that Aaliyah was allowing them to, smoke weed and drink and that, and was taking them out. He wouldn't want that. But at least Aaliyah was an adult, and Aaliyah was doing the best she could. Right. In the position she in. Aaliyah misguided them in a lot of ways. And that's
but
what
she's so young. She don't know either.
Exactly.
She just, but she protected them.
Aaliyah know right from wrong because when she brought her up there to that hospital and that girl cut my tires, Aaliyah provoked her to do that. Like I said, Genesis, Gabrielle and Genesis were raised well. They were raised well. Their grandmother was a Christian, but she old. You know what I mean? They older than me. And everybody has done what they can to help these girls. Yeah. But I just think that, we all dropped the ball. We all dropped the ball when we gave up. Because not only I gave up, the grandma gave up, the mama gave up, the sister gave up. We all gave up, And at the end of the day, where would we be if Christ gave up on us?
Absolutely.
So we gotta make things right. And I feel like Keith's total recovery will come knowing that his children need him.
That's right.
I feel, and that's what God showed me. His total recovery will come when you get it right. You got to get it right. You praying for healing. You praying for recovery. You praying for this, but you're not doing the things you need to be doing. You're not doing the things that I would have you to do in all areas of your life. And so I have to do right by God first.
That's right.
And then I will see the blessings of God manifest in my life.
Keith, right.
I'll see the blessings manifest then. And so that's why I say, I open my door to my grandchildren. I pray that, like I said, I don't, just like God showed me myself, God will show them that if this is the Lord using me, they'll get to their grandmother. I don't have to unlock no phones. I don't have to do. God will open the door.
Amen.
And then when that door is open, I got to be prepared to say, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
You know.
And
so
prayerfully, they will hear this and call you from a different number, and they know the phone line is open. Call your grandmother and receive her apology and receive it, you know, and get there with your daddy.
And even with, you know, like I said, it all comes at individuals' personal times. And, you know, I know that it's going to be some friction. But just like they say, well, we got, you know, all our kids is old enough, we can do cash apps. Y'all could just cash app it to them. Well, then y'all kids, my grandkids, all y'all old enough and all y'all got cell phones. You can call your grandma. And if it makes your mom mad that you call your grandma because God said so, don't let her know you called your grandma, because I'm never going to lead you astray. Right. So you can reach out when you're ready. Grandma's going to be right here. I'm not.
She's starting with his children.
In no hurry.
Anybody don't understand that, kick them out.
For me to see the righteousness that I should be doing. But I do strongly feel the Lord has moved things out of my way, and the final door has been closed as far as me trying to make amends with my siblings and this and that. I'm going to just stay back here in my corner.
And put that energy towards the kids. Yeah.
I'm going to do just that. And I even say to my siblings, if they choose to come around, you can. Mm-hmm. You know, my brother told me, don't call his number no more if you feel like, you know, I would be going behind your back doing this. Well, I know you going behind my back doing stuff. Mm-hmm. And I've never trusted the whole situation, but I did it out of faith. You know, I did it believing maybe we can change as a family. But one thing I cry about a lot is my mother's last wish to me was, Gina, y'all got to do something to bring this family together. Yeah. Y'all got to do something. Yeah. And I told Mama, I'm going to do my best. Mm-hmm. And my best was just staying out of the way. And when people come, be receptive. Yeah. And that ain't good enough, obviously, because look, the turmoil still goes on. Yeah. We still choose outsiders versus working with the family. And I ain't saying always agree when somebody wrong, but I'm saying whatever we disagree about, keep it in the family. That's true. But don't go outside the family, making people look like, oh, yeah, you're right. Because, see, Shay got her family support. And they know Shay wrong as 2 left feet. Shay mama ain't called me. She called me one time to tell me, why am I saying things about her daughter? I said, I know you don't call yourself trying to check me. If you want to talk to me, we're going to talk like grown women. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I told her mother. Mm-hmm. Me and her mother don't have a reason to be battling about her grown-ass daughter and the things she's doing. Because if anything, she would be telling her, respect Miss Regina. Because she know what I've done for her when she didn't do it. Right. And they know I would never do nothing to hurt her. They know that. Yeah. But they're a bunch of users. All of them. When Keith was rolling, they was all right there in his back pocket. Oh, let's do this invention. Oh, let's do that. Oh, let's do this. They wanted to get me out of the way. So it don't surprise me that her family is supporting her. It don't surprise me at all. Because they knew he had other women. They knew about all his other babies. Y'all wasn't telling her then get away. They weren't telling her then to leave him.
Do you think they've told her now to leave him alone?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, she has said it herself.
I was surprised to hear.
I told Jay, leave you alone and let that woman raise her kid. Let her take care of her son.
That's what her mother told her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I ain't bashing her. Maybe she told her for her own purpose. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But I know this. My family fights harder for her to be in his life for monetary gains than her mother, her family do. My family fight against me. So she got my family supporting her and her family supporting her.
I was a bit taken aback on the day that Danny went live, and then right after Shay didn't go live, but right after that, Shay messaged you basically what Danny was saying on live, and you shared that with me and showed me the message, and I was very taken aback. But it led me to wonder, why not just let it all go? You know, me as being somebody's girlfriend, if I felt that way, I would just let it all go, give you all of his belongings, and just kind of.
I told her, give me his jewelry. If you done and you gonna do you, give me his jewelry and go on your way. Give me what you got of his and go on your way. Yeah. I don't care.
Have you received his belongings yet?
No, because I'm gonna tell you, that's how scandalous she is. She ain't holding on to that because she want to get back together with him, because, like she said, I'm washing my hands. I'm done with him. She too difficult. See, you say I'm too difficult because you taking the narrative with my family. See, like I said, my family need to stay out of it, because none of them did Shay live in their house. Shay never lived in their house with them. Shay lived in my house. Now, none of them do they know the cries and the things that Keith and her went through when Keith was running to my house. No, none of them. All they know is she been there. In fact, when my brother went to her house, he was surprised she lived like she lived in her house. I'm thinking she got it going on. Yeah, y'all think a lot of things that ain't true.
Yeah. And they were visiting, last month, this month. I know after Christmas, you guys had a schedule where she would go on certain weekend. He would go on certain weekends to visit Shay, and
the last time they visited was February the 3rd, I think it was the last time. And even with everything that happened with the Valentine's Day thing, and like I said, I want to make it very clear to y'all that it wasn't a fact. It wasn't nothing I knew, and that's why I called and asked her. It's just my history with Shay. When I see things like that look like it's they throwing a narrative out there, then I get nervous.
Yeah. Trying to protect him.
Yeah. Right. And so I'm thinking, now I'm letting him go over here every other weekend. I hope she ain't on no bullshit like this now, because now everybody know he go over there every other weekend, and maybe you did take him and get married. I don't know. But it's just something that I was thinking, and I shared that with my brother. I didn't say it was a fact, but the fact that she denied the picture at first, and then all of a sudden she remembered it. And then I find out that she called her and my brother on a 3-way with my sister. And they trying to find out, did she really do it? If I tell you she did it, why don't you get me on a 3-way with Shay and ask me? Because it's easy for Shay to lie to my sister. My sister never told me that she knew about the marriage. My sister told me about the picture. That's all my sister told me. Gina, I'm watching because I don't know. Shay got some picture on there talking about it's going to be a big announcement and this and that. Then I hear about this darn thing on there. So I'm thinking, I hope she ain't trying to make people think they get married or something. So again, I'm thinking that this way because I know Shay all about the money. You know, I know what she did in the past about the money. And like I said, I don't know for sure what it is, but I was nervous about it.
Right.
And I always say,
no
anything
marriage.
Come up, I'm going to bring it straight to it. I told my brother, I called Shay and I asked her. I said, well, what, if you put a picture up, you can't remember that you put that picture up? She sent me the picture after I was drilling her, you know? And so, like I said, if I can't come to you when I'm feeling a certain way, if it's going to piss you off to the point where you're going to say, I'm done, I ain't doing this no more, then let's communicate to make it clear so we all know what's going on.
Right.
But like I said, her and Danielle been on some bullshit. Her and Danielle always on some bullshit together. And little do she know, Danielle don't give a damn about her. Danielle do not care nothing about Shay. Period. she get what Shay get. And Shay know that. Ain't nobody ever came between me and Shay. And it ain't like me and her buddies but she was just like a daughter to me.
Right.
We had that kind of relationship. And me opening the door, letting her back in, I was hoping we could build it back up because I know how my son feel about her. Mm-hmm. He do love her. He do. Mm-hmm. My thing is, do you really love him?
Well, and these are the times when that really is, what
sacrifices do y'all see that girl making
right
for kids?
Now is the time to show that more than any in the world.
What sacrifice? All she doing is talking. What sacrifices are you? What have you done for him since he's been sick that has been positive?
Mm-hmm. How were the visits when he would go over there and visit her?
He come back. Well, that's another thing they say. Like, they try to say that because I'm honest about what we go through here. Like, Keith do fight me. Mm-hmm. He do kick me. He do bite me.
Which is a part of it. And it's not just you, from my understanding, because I heard from someone else that he was doing it over at Shay's as well.
Exactly. Uh-huh. He do the same thing at her house. Mm-hmm. He fight her. He very combative. He tell her I want to go to my mama's house, and he tell me he want to go to Shay's house.
It's a part of the recovery. I've even heard he tell her, I'ma kill you, bitch. Bitch, I'ma kill you. Mm-hmm. And I did not hear that from you, Miss Regina, and I've never told you that I've heard that. But I heard that from someone who speaks to Shay. Yeah.
He does it. And that's why when he say things to me about her, I don't take it seriously.
Yeah, you can't. It's a part of the
One thing I don't do is it ain't nobody in my house,
right,
but me and my grandson.
That's right.
And so we don't talk about Shay in my house. We don't talk about none of them. But when he goes over her house, he must be hearing them talk about me. Because when he hears, I'm mom. I'm not Regina. I'm mom. When he come back, that's Regina's house. I ain't going in Regina's house. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. He does that. And I even called her on that. I said, Shay, y'all must be over there saying things around him that's negative. Because he's not gonna come here doing that. When he leave in a positive way to go see her. And be good. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good, Mom. I said, okay, don't give her a hard time now. I ain't. I love her. Okay. All right. Then when he come back, it take 2 or 3 days to get that nigga to calm down. My brothers have brought him in, and he was fighting, didn't want to come in on the floor, laying out. And I tell him, leave him alone. Leave him alone. He'll be all right.
I think that has been one of the biggest misconceptions is that, he's not just doing it to you. I don't like telling, what I know, but I can't deal with the lies, so I just, although I knew that.
It's nothing but lies and narratives to make people think. Like I told my brother, and I love my brother, and I'm not saying nothing bad about my brother. My brother has been, some of the things he's done has been surprising to me, I want to say. And I've been taking baby steps with him because I know where our relationship was, and I want to make sure that we walk in a righteous path to, have a longer, and it ain't a touch and go. But my brother, I told him, I said, you need to read some of the information about traumatic brain injury so you can understand these behaviors. Doctors have said the more alert he becomes, the more aggression you're going to see because he know he can't do what he used to do.
Right. He realizes.
He know he's limited. And so that's what you see. Like when he'll say, I say, okay, you want to get in the chair? You going to walk over here to the chair? No, fuck you, bitch. Okay. I just leave him alone.
Because he really don't want help. He knows he can he can get up and do it himself. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, one day he got up He woke up and he said, I want to get on the couch. So I got him up and I went to get the walker. He threw the walker. I said, well, how are you going to get up? I can't get you over there by yourself. You need somebody. So, and he's like, no, I can do it.
Yeah.
So I stood behind him. It was a Sunday. On the God I serve, I want y'all to know this boy walked from the bed to the couch, went from the couch to the other couch, went from the other couch and walked all the way in the kitchen. And all I did was stood behind him and was holding him up because his left side is weak. He ain't paralyzed. Right. His left side is weak. He can move his leg, he can move his arm, he can do all. And he sat on a stool without a back. The things he do is just God showing me when you get it right.
He gonna come on through.
You gonna see him come through. But see, you got to get it right first, because it's your mother's prayers availeth much. Yeah. But your prayers got to be genuine. Yeah. You got to be doing your part. Don't ask God for something and think he gonna answer your prayers and you ain't doing what you supposed to.
You better know it. Yeah.
That's how God works. You can't ask God for a speedy recovery for your child, because I'm his child. Right. And he want my sickness to be healed. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yes. So it works the same way.
You the head.
Exactly. Exactly. It works the same way. If I could get my family to Christ, it would be the best contribution to, and I can know that my mother soul rest. My mother died knowing the affliction that my mother on her dying bed died knowing that we didn't have it all together. Me and my sister was fighting. My brother was fighting. They had teamed up, because that's what we do. We get in little teams, little huddles. Yeah. But then look, our nieces and nephews see the same thing. And what are they doing? They doing exactly what they see their aunts and uncles doing. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And here I am doing to my son the same thing. Yeah. Separating his children. Yeah. It has to stop somewhere. Yes. And it stops here. Because when I say I love my son, that sacrifice is even to the death of my own. Yeah. I will kill everything in me that don't give glory to God, that allow me to give my sons the blessings that he deserved. Right. He has always kept his children together.
Yes, he has.
And I will not be the seed that will devour that.
Amen.
Not anymore. Amen. Not after today.
Amen, Miss Regina.
Not after today. Mm-hmm. So I just want to ask you all to pray. And like I said, I ain't going to be getting on here trying to combat what somebody got to say, or, trying to save my reputation. Right. It ain't about my reputation. Yeah. It's about my son's recovery.
That's right.
It's about me doing God's will, not only in my life, but in the life of others that's around me. Mm-hmm. God has holding me accountable to do what I'm supposed to do. And so my responsibility is to apologize to my grandchildren for being in self. That's right. And self has caused this division. And it's time to put things in proper order. That's right. And so I want Gabrielle and Genesis to know that your father asked about y'all yesterday. And I couldn't tell him where y'all was at. And I am broken because of that. But I want you to say to his, not just Gabby and Genesis because he asked, but to Shayana and LeBron, to KJ, to Aaliyah, to Caden, and who else is it? I'm dealing with another issue where it might be another kid. And whoever you are, if it comes that Keith is the father of your child, know that
her name is Massacre, and she's on Beagle. And sometimes she talks a little, but she does want to have some sort of a test done.
Yeah, I've been getting some notifications about it. And thank you for sharing that with me, because I don't know nothing about the girl. Yes. I just know that something is coming, that he's got a kid.
Yeah. Well,
possibly a
possibly.
kid.
Yeah.
I think it's a boy. I'm not sure.
It is a little
But
boy. Mm-hmm.
I want her to know that if it is so and it comes that he is, that, I know he will take responsibility for that.
Absolutely.
And if he, well, it ain't no if he do or don't. If it's my grandchild, I want to be in that child's life.
Absolutely.
And so whatever it is, don't hold it against us, because again, Keith had his own life out there that I really wasn't privy to. A lot of information I've gotten through, just being, around saying that. Wait a minute.
Now, I've never spoken to this young lady. I have overheard conversations that she's had with other people. If it turns out, I hope they can do the test and everything. I don't know how.
Well, I want to make it happen for her, because I don't want her to be putting out negative stuff.
Right.
That, if it came back, it wasn't. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If it is, let's find out if it is. If it's something I can do to make that happen, I want to make that happen. But I want that if it's so, I want that to be a part of his life. I want that child to know his brothers and sisters, because, that's what's wrong with us now. Yeah. We don't know who we belong to. We don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
We just all out here.
That's right. And so, that's the right thing to do.
Whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if she on this site and listens, have her reach out to you, Tommy, and give her my number. Have her call me, and don't put it out socially, but
correct.
Let's keep some of this private, and let's do the right thing, and let's
I would want
get to the bottom of it.
What I would think would be more safe, and for everybody, for both parties involved, is to maybe be a third party with you guys, and then once everything is, if it checks out that that's his son, then absolutely, I would give her your number. I wouldn't feel comfortable with it, just because of the situation right now. And I would want her to not speak with anyone else besides me until you guys figure out.
No way. The only reason I talked to you is because, I couldn't get the information I needed from her. And as I said, you've been very helpful with me getting truth. And so I don't know no other way to reach this girl.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to put my number out across this platform.
Yeah.
So
she can reach out to me.
I don't want to ask you to do something that you're not comfortable doing, but if you're comfortable with her reaching out to you,
absolutely,
some kind of way, and you getting my information to her, tell her, let's make it happen. Let's find out what it is, and then we go from there.
That's the right thing to do.
But don't take a man's good. Right. And he ain't always. I mean, that platform he was on, it was a bad thing. And, people said things, and it was all just in business. It's a business, basically.
Absolutely.
It sounded like to me. But
he did a lot of good on here, Miss Regina. Let me say, we do a lot. We do some bad stuff, but Keith, he did a lot of good on here. He helped a lot of people.
And you know what? It shows. It shows in all that you all are doing. It shows that he must have been doing some good, because don't nobody follow like people following now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that's going on a year in June. And he still got his supporters.
Oh, yeah.
So
they ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And when I talked to him that day, I did share with them that I remember one day that he said, he told you, just follow me, mama, just follow me. So I repeated that to him the day I talked to him. And I want him to really know that we waiting on him, and we following Keith. We waiting on him. Those were his words, so, and he's missed greatly. He is.
Yeah, he is. I'm here with him every day, but I still miss him, because I don't see that, that
he's not himself right now. Right.
Right. So I'm just, y'all keep praying for me, and keep, praying that the Lord will continue to convict me of my sin, and keep me focused on what I need to do, because it's all for a great purpose.
That's right.
That's to get him better, and to make sure that when he do get better, that his children are right there with him.
That's right.
So again, I hope to hear from you. And like I said, whoever this young lady is, if you could make that happen, again, it'd be very much appreciated.
Absolutely, no problem at all. Anything I can do to help and make it easier for you guys, I'm here. You know that, and we all are for that matter.
All right. Well, I appreciate it.
We love you, Miss Regina. We love Keith.
I let him know. I tell him all the time.
Okay.
You got more supporters than you think, babe.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Talk to you. Bye-bye. Whew. Girl, that make me